The NCAA Championship game between Houston and Florida was a battle of resilience, momentum shifts, and, ultimately, heartbreak. In a game where Houston controlled the pace for most of the night, they watched a 12-point lead slip away in the final minutes. With a series of costly mistakes down the stretch, Florida completed one of the greatest comebacks in NCAA title game history, sealing a 65-63 victory. Tonight, we break down the game, the emotional aftermath, and how a single moment can define an entire season. From the opening tip, Houston looked like the team destined to be crowned national champions. Their defense was aggressive, their offensive execution was sharp, and they played with the composure of a championship-caliber squad. By halftime, they had a comfortable lead, and even as Florida made runs, Houston responded with tough shot-making and defensive stops. Everything pointed toward a historic night for head coach Kelvin Sampson, who was on the brink of his first national championship and his 800th career win. But then, it all started to slip away. With just under a minute left in the game, Houston still had control. Florida had not led at any point in the second half, until the final 46 seconds. Houston star guard Emanuel, who had been one of their most reliable players throughout the tournament, found himself at the center of the chaos. With Houston trailing by 1, he drove into the lane but was stripped by Florida's Will Richard. The ball ricocheted out of bounds, a critical turnover with just 26 seconds left. After Florida's Denzel Aberdeen hit a free throw, Houston had one final chance, down by 2 points with 19 seconds to go. But Florida's defense locked in, forcing a rush defensive set. With 5 seconds left on the clock, Sharp received the ball nearly 6 feet behind the three-point line. He rose for a deep, contested shot but never got it off. Florida's Walter Clayton Jr. lunged midair, his outstretched hand forcing Sharp to freeze. The ball slipped away, and Florida's Alex Condon made the hustle play of the night, securing his 4th steal and sealing the victory for the Gators. The contrast from 2 nights earlier was striking. Houston had pulled off an improbable comeback against Duke in the semifinals, scoring 9 points in the final 33 seconds. Now they found themselves on the other side of history. Inside the locker room, the devastation was overwhelming. Reporters entered to find players in silence, heads down, struggling to process what had just happened. Sharp, who had committed the final 2 turnovers, was visibly emotional. As teammate Milos Uzin guided him away from the cameras, Sharp could be heard blaming himself, his words punctuated by frustration and heartbreak. Houston forward Joseph Tugler summed up the mood in a single sentence. "That broke everybody's heart." For Kelvin Sampson, the loss was especially painful. This Houston team was built to win a championship. They had the experience, the chemistry, the defensive intensity, all the ingredients needed for a deep tournament run. After the game, standing under the bright lights of the media room, Sampson reflected on how close his team had come. Arms crossed, his face a mixture of disappointment and pride, he made it clear that this team had all the qualities necessary to win it all. "This team was built for 6 straight wins," he said. "We got here and had a chance and just didn't get it done." Sampson also addressed Sharp's final possessions, emphasizing that while those mistakes were costly, Houston wouldn't have been in the title game without him. "I told him I loved him," Sampson said. "He made a couple reads that I'm sure he wishes he could have back, but we don't get here without that kid." The reality of college basketball is that the margin between victory and defeat is razor thin. Houston was moments away from glory, but a series of small mistakes turned into a nightmare finish. As the final buzzer sounded, Sampson walked off the court in disbelief. His daughter Lauren met him in the tunnel and hugged him. His response? "I'm okay." But inside the Houston locker room, it was anything but okay. Assistant coaches sat in silence, stunned by how quickly it had all unraveled. Sampson's son, Kelvin, described it best. "It's a brutal, cruel guillotine," he said. "When you get here, every team is so good. We certainly did enough tonight to win. Florida did as well, and they won." And that's the beauty and brutality of March Madness. One moment, you're celebrating a historic comeback. The next, you're on the wrong side of one. For Houston, this loss will linger. For Kelvin Sampson, it represents a missed opportunity that may never come again. And for Emanuel, it's a lesson in how quickly the game can turn. But make no mistake, this Houston team was special. And while this loss will hurt for a long time, the journey to the championship game is something that can never be taken away. Florida, on the other hand, will be remembered for one of the greatest comebacks in NCAA title history. A game that will be replayed for years to come. This was a championship game for the ages. A reminder of how unforgiving this sport can be. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should Houston have done anything differently in the final minute? And where do you rank Florida's comeback among the greatest in NCAA history? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth breakdowns of the biggest moments in sports. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.